Chapter 64. Big Questions, Little Answers.
When Deborah DiNincenzo and Rick Swagan first began planning their book, .com, they asked if I would answer some survey questions for them. When their questions arrived, I thought, these are really some great questions. I'll be anxious to read other people's responses to them. For the curious, here are the questions they asked, along with my answers. Question: what techniques do you use to balance all the demands of your life and work? Answer: I'm not sure balance is the right word, as it implies fair and equal treatment of all obligations. I think perhaps a better word is prioritize. I believe that the key to maintaining one's sanity today is the ability to separate the truly important from the merely urgent. The question that you must continually ask yourself is, what exactly are the consequences of not doing this? A couple of years ago, I received a summons to jury duty that informed me that I was required by law to appear at a certain place at a certain time. I said, I wonder what happens if I don't show up. Do they send a police officer to my door? Do they mail me a nasty note saying that I'm a bad American? Do they kick my Cocker Spaniel? I ignored the summons and nothing happened. Yes, I am a bad person. Question: how do you limit your accessibility to avoid interruptions to personal time? Answer: neither my client nor my staff know my home phone number or my cell phone number. When I'm not at the office, I'm not at work. Walking out the door each night, I make peace with my decision to quit for the day by saying, let worlds collide, let millions die, I've done all I can. The next day, when I arrive at the office and find that planets did not collide and millions did not die as a result of my having left a few things undone, I happily get back to work. Question: how do you completely disconnect from work? Answer: I aggressively pursue things that I think are interesting. I research, read, go shopping, and repair stuff. Penny, my wife and business partner, and I have a rule that we never discuss the office at home. Never. Question: how do you unwind, re-energize, and renew your spirit and energy? Answer: waking up curious in the middle of the night, I write. It's now 3:41 a.m. Question: how do you maintain a sense of community and real human contact? Answer: each day I leave and eat lunch outside the office, usually somewhere quiet and with cloth napkins. It's my rule never to eat alone and always to pick up the tab. I believe that outside of marriage, there is little human contact as intimate as sharing a meal with someone in a quiet place. Question: how do you manage the barrage of email, voicemail, and information that exists? Answer: I respond to only 2 or 3 inquiries per day, but each of these receives a full and complete response from me. Today, I am responding to you. The senders of the other 162 emails currently on my desktop will either assume that I'm rude, or that I don't care, or that I'm simply too busy to respond. I can't change what they think. Neither can I put more hours on the clock. I believe that the people most likely to lie awake at night are the ones who feel they must answer the telephone every time it rings, type responses to every email, and make return calls to every caller who leaves a message. May the Lord have pity on those poor souls. Amen. Question: how does the organization you work for help or hinder you in achieving focus and balance? Answer: I don't believe that an organization can help or hinder the individual in his search for personal peace. Contentment is not drawn from a person's circumstances or surroundings. Anyone who believes his employer can contribute to or detract from his sense of well-being is probably going to live a life without it. Peace comes from the inside, not the outside. Now do you see what I was saying about the questions being interesting?
Chapter 65. An old Mustang revertible.
I have a 1971 Mustang with a canvas top that folds down behind the rear seat. Ask me why I chose to restore this particular year, make, and model of car, and I'll immediately point out to you the convenience of having a gas cap that is centered between the taillights. You can pull up on either side of the gas pump, either side. After showing you how effortlessly one can remove the gas cap, I'll continue, as though you're actually interested. And it's not hidden behind an irritating spring-loaded license plate like the gas caps on GM cars. By the time I've explained the slope angle of the windshield and pointed out the fully retractable windshield wipers, you'll be wishing you had never asked. But Penny will tell you that the real reason we own a '71 Mustang is because every time I sit in one, I go back in time to when I was 15 years old. That was the year Perry McKee and I ruled the world from our headquarters on the second floor of his grandmother's house in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Perry always drove the Mustang with his left hand because his right hand was busy pounding invisible piano keys on the dash as we sang at the top of our lungs to a blaring AM radio. And in between each song, we'd lean out the windows and shout, "Subaru!" Perry and I never lost a race in that Mustang. Never. But then none of the other drivers ever knew that they had been racing. Like the shark in the movie Jaws, our Mustang was just a speck in their rearview mirrors right up until the moment Perry and I zipped past him with shouts of "Subaru!" It was always then that Perry would turn to me and say, "Got him." If a girl was especially pretty or a cheeseburger was particularly good, Perry and I would lock eyes for a moment, turn one thumb slowly upward, and say in solemn unison, "Subaru." When we got tired of sitting at a red light, we'd throw our fingertips toward it and shout the command, "Subaru!" Shortly thereafter, the light would always turn green. Why Subaru? Well, in simple truth, Perry and I just like the sound of the word. And when you rule the world, that's the only reason you need.
Anyone without a sense of humor is at the mercy of everyone else. William Rossler. Chapter 66. Personal, Permanent, and Pervasive.
It comes down to a simple choice: get busy living or get busy dying. Andy Dufresne, The Shawshank Redemption.
When something bad happens, is it usually your fault or is it someone else's? Will the results of the adversity be temporary or permanent? Will it spread to other areas of your life or will it be limited to a single area? According to Dr. Martin Seligman of the Center for Applied Cognitive Studies, optimists and pessimists are easily identified through their explanations of adversity and success. The principal differences in their respective outlooks revolve around the issues of personalization, permanence, and pervasiveness. When adversity happens, the pessimist thinks, "It's my fault." That's personalization. "It's going to last forever." That's permanence. "And it will affect every area of my life." Pervasiveness. Whereas the optimist believes, "It's someone else's fault. It's only temporary, and it won't affect other areas of my life." When success happens, however, the explanations are reversed. The pessimist believes, "Someone else made it happen. It won't last, and it won't help me in any other area of my life." The optimist, on the other hand, believes the same things about success that the pessimist believes about adversity. "I made it happen." Personalization. "This is one in a line of many successes." Permanence. "And the effect will ripple throughout my life." Pervasiveness. Does it surprise you to learn that pessimists explain adversity in exactly the same way that optimists explain success? How do you explain adversity and success?